The military has many wonderful aspects, but at the same time, it is a very rough culture. For women especially, because you want to be one of the boys, yet you still want to keep your femininity, and that is something that is very hard to do. When you're in it, you're just surviving. You're just doing what you have to do. You can't really process it. And that's what they say about a lot of veterans. Like, it takes 10 years to really be able to process like your military experience. I have to say that is what happened to me. You start to feel so much pain in your body. You're depressed because you're in pain, but then you're in pain because you're depressed. So you're like, how do I break this?
It's important for veterans to seek relief through lifestyle changes because the other option is medicating symptoms. And if we can address those things and give people the courage and the strength to deal with the discomfort a little bit and to change their mindset and the way they view discomfort as an invitation to explore themselves, we can really create a very different consciousness.
In 2016, the Department of Veterans Affairs treated 66,000 vets for opioid addiction, which is about 13% of all the veterans taking opioids. Veterans are twice as likely to die from accidental opioid overdoses than non-vets. Turnusol Wellness offers a free program for veterans seeking holistic treatment to help them with their chronic pain and emotional stress.
I think we have an opioid crisis because we have a society that is interested in avoiding discomfort at all costs. So we look for the quickest route out of that pain. So I wanted to create a home for holistic health where we could address all of the different reasons why we might manifest disease as we age.
Lestiel Kelly is a Navy veteran who has been seeking holistic treatments to help her cope with the pain brought on by PTSD.
I was like, I am not in tune with where my life is. So I was like, I need to get my vibrations tuned. And I saw something like holistic treatments for veterans. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So I went and I called and she was like, oh yeah, we do vibrations tuning. I was like, oh my goodness, I just put that in the universe like yesterday and here you are, literally.
Are you feeling okay? Anything change? Anything new?
Just because of the weather, the pain's been a little bit more intense, shoulder pain.
So sound can be triggering and it can be deeply soothing. Vibroacoustic sound therapy is a science-based therapy that works on sound and vibration. When we feel healthy, our cells are vibrating within a range of about 30 to 120 hertz. And in that space, we are asymptomatic. We feel resilient to stress triggers, we don't have any pain, we're not suffering from chronic disease. When our cells are vibrating outside of that range, we are anything from mildly annoyed and easily triggered to living in chronic pain, chronic stress, chronic disease.
I really feel that there's something about when you're laying in that bed and it really does tune you to the current that you're supposed to be on.
Lestiel served in the U.S. Navy for 5 years, working on a flight deck in the middle of the Arabian Sea.
While I was I had a couple injuries, things that happen while you're on the job. And it's pretty much like, suck it up, buttercup, keep it moving. Like, we need the manpower. And I had some issues with MST, military sexual trauma, that I just suppressed for so long. And I suppressed it so deep. I was like, oh, that was nothing. But it was something. And I saw what happened to people who did speak out. And their lives were made miserable. And I just didn't, sometimes you're just like, you know what, I'm just gonna move on.
According to the VA, 60% of veterans returning from the Middle East are living with some form of chronic pain.
I go to the Bronx VA. They really did a thorough analysis of what was wrong with me. I'm like, so you're telling me I have this chronic issue and the only thing that you can offer me is these medications that are not going to make me better, but just alleviate my pain for the time being, this Band-Aid, right? You take this medication for this, you take this medication for that. Next thing you know, you racked up like 9 different medications. You got one for your headaches, you got one for your depression, you got ones for before you get the headaches. Next thing you know, you're just walking around in this fog. And I have 2 small children. I couldn't be in that fog all the time. Like I have to live for them. I have to be better for them.
We can avoid becoming addicted to medications, to having to deal with the side effects of medications, to having to titrate medications and figure out what's right for you by first deeply exploring who you are and what you need for balance. And understanding and knowing yourself that intimately will help reduce the amount of stress that a person experiences and will then have an impact on how much pain a person has.
You know, I cut meat, I'm trying to eliminate dairy, and I feel so much better because of it. I'm drinking green juice all day long, and I got the husband on the green juice, and that helps a lot. I've seen a big change in my life and my quality of life. I just hope that veterans, you know, like get out of your own way. Sometimes we get so stuck in that anger cloud or feeling like we've been done wrong, and it's like, nothing good is gonna come from there. You have to shed that and move forward and, you know, be ready to do some scary shit to find the good path.